Okay. Well, welcome, motherfuckers. Tommy wanted to know if there was going to be an intro to this. And the question is, maybe there is. Maybe there isn't going to be, Tommy. If you wanted to talk about the intro to this new show, Rushmore, let's hear it.
You know, everybody likes to rank things these days. We're all about ranking. So we said we're going to come on here. We're going to make a whole show about ranking our favorite everything. And we're going to start it off with the most important meal of the day, which is breakfast. So we're talking all about our top 4 breakfast cereals today. The Mount Rushmore.
That's what they tell you. They tell you it's the most important meal of the day, Tommy. But the question is, do you eat breakfast the second you wake up?
Always get a little shake in. Get a little protein shake in there. Come on.
Do you eat breakfast the second you wake up?
You know what? I have completely abandoned the breakfast mantra. I am completely intermittent fasting so I can get my physique nice and tight. I don't eat breakfast, lunch until 12. So,
but since this is a Rushmore, which is a top 4 show, and we're starting off with breakfast cereals, it doesn't necessarily mean what we're doing right now. I might not be getting up and eating one of these tasty cereals at the moment, but throughout my life, I have the cachet and the history of taking down many a bowls of the cereals we're about to talk about.
Hey, man, Saturday morning cartoons, bro. You can't beat it,
Saturday morning cartoons.
You know, I'm a nocturnal cereal guy. I like the cereal like right before bed. That's my cereal time.
The sugar rush before it. So here's the deal with this show, so everybody knows who comes on, because obviously we don't plan anything. And in this Rushmore type show that it's going to be the top 4 of what we think personally are what on the subject we're talking about. At this current moment, it's breakfast cereals. And then what you're going to do is, after you subscribe, after you like, and you do all that, is in the comments, you're going to put your top 4 of what you think, to see how far off we are. Because what we do amongst us, we all work together. That's the whole point of this. And what we do is, in between us working together, we're usually talking about top 4 or our Rushmore of certain things. Could be anything. Could be the basics of top 4 cars, sneakers, breakfast cereals, 80s movies, thrillers, action figures, songs from certain artists, anything. It's Rushmores of all things. And that's usually our little break between all the different work we're doing together to kind of talk about things in pop culture that are released. So we decided, fuck it, let's make a show about it. So this show is called Rushmore. And we're starting off with breakfast cereals because it's something that is close to all our hearts. It's something that we feel passionate about from back in the day. So I'm just going to start it right off in no consecutive order, not left to right.
Okay.
I'm going to start it right off and say it's no debate for me. There's not even a question. My cereal from my childhood, what I've eaten the most of throughout my life, is easily Freddie Flintstone's Pebbles. That's it. Fruity Pebbles. It had to be in the house. I would throw a fit if it wasn't. And I had it at all times stocked and was ready to go. So I'm starting off with mine, easy Rushmore Fruity Pebbles. And as a sidebar, I will tell you, I haven't had them in a very long time. I was doing this show recently. Well, not recently now. It's a few years back, called True Story, where I had lost a lot of weight for the role. And it was during the lockdown, so we couldn't really leave the place where we were staying. And while we were there, I was on a minimal diet of like 600 to 800 calories a day, right? For almost like 4 months. No cheat days, no nothing, right? And because I think I lost like 40 something pounds for the role. And I was dreaming, because of the character, he was like this innocent character. So I would watch Saturday morning cartoons on a loop from the 80s. I would watch old commercials from the 80s. And I was dreaming of Fruity Pebbles. So the day we wrapped, I rolled up with a box of Fruity Pebbles, hyped out of my mind to eat them. I took one bite and I hit the floor with one of the worst headaches I've ever had from the sugar rush.
The sugar rush? Yeah.
I still, because I hadn't had sugar in months, I still finished the bowl. It doesn't matter. My love is endless. I ate the whole box. That was the last time. And before that was probably when I was in my teens. But it's easily number one because it took over my childhood. Tommy, what do you got?
Well, my number one is a, pretty traditional one. And I might get some shit for this. And I don't give a fuck. Because sometimes tradition is key.
It's true.
But the good old-fashioned Honey Nut Cheerios, man. It's like the M16 of cereal. It's like the basic issue cereal, and it's kind of healthy-ish. Like it's not really, but like compared to the other cereals, I know it's a fucking lame pick, but for the tradition, because this is a Rushmore, I gotta say Honey Nut Cheerios. And also, if you remember, there was like a really adorable bee character from the 90s that I really liked.
I don't know his name. Did he have a name? Was he a character name?
Nutty. He's just fucking nutty. The Honey Nut.
He was like, and he was like kind of kooky, and he would do all these weird things in the commercial.
He'd fly all around the kitchen, and it's not sexy, guys. It's not a sexy pick, but it makes you feel good. As
someone with two young boys who love breakfast cereals, the game has changed since the 80s and 90s, right? It's like my wife will only let certain things in the house. Honey Nut Cheerios is the only throwback cereal that's in this house.
Because it's kind of healthy.
That's exactly my point. My wife is convinced that it is kind of healthy, so that's their kind of dessert treat of their go-to. I have no experience with Honey Nut Cheerios whatsoever.
Oh, man.
None.
Yeah, Honey Nut Cheerios is solid. It's consistent, so I would piggyback off your statement there, Tommy.
That's a great way to say it. It's consistent.
Mine would be Tony the Tiger, man, hands down. Tony the Tiger,
Frosted Flakes.
Down. They're great. You know what I mean? Like consistent, got a lot of sugar. I mean, it's funny because it's like I hate cornflakes, but I love Frosted Flakes. So definitely
cornflakes when you used to dump that sugar on to make them like Frosted Flakes.
But it still never hit the same. It still never hit the same.
No.
You know what I love about Frosted Flakes? Because let's not forget, guys, like cereal is great because it's both a meal and a beverage combined.
Yeah.
So it's
like all about drinking the milk.
The milk from Frosted Flakes is out of control.
Yeah. Agreed.
Once you get that flake saturation.
Frosted Flakes, if we're coming around, well, I'm not going to think about that yet. Hold on. Frosted Flakes had so much going for it because it was like a cartoon with Tony the Tiger. He, like you just said, they're great. That's like their line. So like talk about marketing. They're great.
Yeah.
They're telling you they're great, right? So many people, I think, just fell into that. Then remember, he'd interview people in like the dark. It would be like a detective interviewing, and people be admitting that they love Frosted Flakes.
How dope was commercials back then, though? Like they actually had like a full-blown set for a cereal. The lighting was great. Like so different now, man. But
do they do that anymore? Do they do commercials for breakfast cereals anymore?
Not on TV. None that I haven't
It ain't like it used to be. You know what's really cool about Frosted Flakes too, guys? Because everyone watching this show, you're gonna find out sooner or later that the three of us are big pro wrestling fans. We're wrestling guys.
Yeah.
And the voice of Tony the Tiger was Lee Marshall, who was a big commentator. He actually made more money doing that Tony the Tiger voice than he ever did in pro wrestling. So that's a pretty cool little side note that was. He's no longer with us. Stagger Lee Marshall is no longer here, but his voice doing "They're great" will live on forever.
Does Tony the Tiger still do commercials?
He still got that red bandana with his name on it somewhere.
But they don't do like the production value is totally different.
You guys realize he's completely
no, they don't do all that. And you know what else? They always had it. One thing about about Frosted Flakes is always like either the son or the daughter with their dad. They were at like a baseball game or something like that. It was like, it was very family oriented. So it was really cool.
You know what also is so different? Because like what I was saying earlier, I still do it is I put on like these blocks on YouTube of like 4 hours of Saturday morning cartoons from like 1986 or whatever year. You pick a year and they come with the commercials that were airing at the same time. So it's like the cartoons, then the same commercials. So me and the boys will watch them on Saturday mornings, and you realize that these things were littered with toy commercials, breakfast cereal commercials, and it was toy commercials of the cartoon you were watching, because the cartoons were only made to sell the toys, right? You know that they made the toy line first, and then they made the cartoon, and then in between it, it's all the snacks, right? So it's like breakfast cereal, 80s cartoons, 80s toys. It's literally like a feast.
Yeah.
You're getting a G.I. Joe cartoon, G.I. Joe, like a Transformers toy commercial, followed by like a Frankenberry.
Yeah.
I mean, we're living the best life ever when you're watching those in a row. So it's like kids even now, like, because I mean, obviously they're not seeing commercials. We were being, told like what to eat, what to like, what toys to buy while you're watching your favorite cartoon. And I think that's why people reminisce or have this total deep attachment to things like breakfast cereals from that time, because nobody's talking about that on like, nobody's doing like an episode on like Kashi cereals right now or something like that. Like that's cool and all, but it's not the thing. So for my second, again, this is pretty easy. The top two are in no specific order. Cookie Crisp. Cookie Crisp is bananas.
Wow, good call.
Cookie Crisp. It's a nice solid mid-carter.
No, I think that's a main eventer.
Yeah, you got it as a main event.
Can I say something though about Cookie Crisp? Is it me? And I don't know if you've had a bowl of Cookie Crisp in a while. I think they changed the recipe or like made it healthier or some shit. It's not the same that it used to be.
No, it's all different now. So a big thing that I'm reminded by my wife all the time is the ingredients are very different in everything today than from the past. So like that goes for
like made with whole grains. It's like, I don't want my fucking cookies made with whole grains.
Right, yeah, it's all different now. Totally different. Because you remember they pulled Smurfberry off the market because it was causing like cancer or something. So they pulled that off. Like half these things were not supposed to be ingested by humans, but they tasted fantastic. Amazing. So they don't make them the same. Cookie Crisp is my number two.
Also, you got to think about too, like, obviously having it with a big bowl with a glass of milk or whatever, or milk in the cereal. But what about when you eat the cereal when it's just completely dry?
Oh yeah, like
you can do that. Like you can do that with Cookie Crisp. You can do that with certain cereals, but I don't think you can do it with all cereals.
No, that's a definite test of like a premier cereal. Like could be eaten in handfuls
right out of the box. If you can hand scoop it out of the box,
that's premier shit.
Everyone I'm naming, I would scoop out the box. Easy.
Cookie Crisp.
Definitely Cookie Crisp because it's mini cookies. Fruity Pebbles is a bit of a mess because they're smaller, but you could easily do that with Fruity Pebbles.
Who you got, Tommy?
All right, number two. I'm going with a little something that's magically delicious, and that's Lucky Charms.
Oh,
I'm with you.
I mean, we got marshmallows.
I'm out on this one.
Really?
I hate Lucky
you
Charms.
You don't want
you threw the H
marshmallows?
I don't like
magical balloons.
So.
You don't like marshmallows? You've just knocked out half the cereal.
Wow.
I'm not. I can't do it.
I'm chasing down the marshmallows.
I'll die on this hill too. Now I do like marshmallows. Like we're doing s'mores or something like that. I can rock with it, but
not in your cereal.
I've actually, and I bet you we've all done that. Well, maybe Demetrius hasn't done this, but like I'll actually pour a bowl of Lucky Charms and not be happy with my marshmallow distribution, and actually go into the box to like sprinkle some extra mellows on that motherfucker.
Wow.
They should. I think now the kids have like all marshmallow. Like there's boxes.
Like, all mellows.
Yeah. They didn't have that then. They should have sold it like the He-Man weapon pack where you can get.
Can I put myself on mute for this one?
That would be sick.
That would be sick. Like you get a side of marshmallows to add more to it. I could easily just tell you that that's definitely going on my list. So I only have one left because Lucky Charms is easy for me.
We can repeat. So
that's all good. We're going to repeat on many things. So D, go ahead. You're up.
Yeah, I mean, I would piggyback off your Fruity Pebbles. That's number two for me. But just since we've already discussed Fruity Pebbles, I'll throw this one out there. How about Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
For sure.
Yeah?
For sure.
Tastes
I'm
like
not putting it on my
churros.
Rushmore. I'm not putting
Tastes
it up
like
there.
churros.
It's unbelievable. Tastes like churros. It tastes like heaven.
The milk is good when you
The milk is like a cinnamon. It's like a cinnamon bun. Like you've melted a cinnamon bun and you're drinking it.
The milk is its own meal after.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like
And you
it's
get
like
that like
separate thing.
you get this dusty residue that lingers,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah.
It's
The
similar
cinnamon.
to one that I was gonna say because I've had it the most, so I probably will, but I'm not gonna say it right now. But it's got that kind of same. It's not the most attractive looking cereal, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It doesn't have the pop of like all the rest of them. It doesn't have that box.
Does it have a character? Does it have a character?
Oh yeah, they got those chefs. There's like little chef guys,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, they have chefs like the Keebler
They're like
Elves?
little chef men.
But it's not like the Lucky Charms or Tony the Tiger.
No.
No, not super famous. They're not main eventers. That talk about not main eventers. Those characters are not main eventers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I think that's an excellent choice, and I think a lot of people would probably agree with that
I
one.
think Cinnamon Toast Crunch will be a big one for most people. I think Frosted Flakes. Listen, I think they'll all be big one. I think there's no controversy yet. I think Honey Nut Cheerios is a little kind of like lunchroom, but I get it.
Guys, they started it. You got to think of
you
the
call it
people.
lunch. What do you call it? Lunchroom?
Lunchroom, yeah.
You know,
like, oh,
sometimes
man,
for me-
they only got Fruit Loops. Like you go to lunchroom, they got
yeah.
Rice Krispies, they got Fruit Loops.
Apple Jacks.
Here's why,
Apple
again, I don't want to revisit
Smacks.
this,
Remember
but like
Smacks? They got like
sometimes
Smacks.
when you're doing Rushmores, you've got to think of the people who were the trailblazers and put them. To me, that's
100%.
a
Frosted Mini
trailblazing
Wheats.
cereal.
Yeah, Frosted Mini Wheat. Listen. Smacks.
Yeah.
Smacks was one of those ones that cool character. I'm not eating Smacks. Smacks is the one nobody's touching because they used to. If you remember, they used to sell the mini box of cereals. Do you remember that? And
Of course.
they'd have them in the plastic pack, and it'd be like 10 of them.
Of course.
Man, when they
What about the off-brand ones? What about the off-brand?
Off-brand.
Ones?
they're like the off-brand
Off-brand Smacks.
foods. Yeah, and then
There's a
Smacks.
meme-
Smacks is
there's
bad
a-
enough as it is.
There's a meme going around where it's like this dad's in the kitchen early in the morning. He's like, "Yo, I'm cutting the product," and he's like putting it from like Fruit Rings to Fruit
Yeah.
Loops.
He's putting in the other one because it's so expensive. He's cutting
That's
it out.
right.
He's doing the Costco version of something.
Cutting
Yeah.
the product. Yeah.
Listen, you can't. There's a company right now that we get from. It's a healthy, like breakfast cereal. Like they're trying to redo the ones from the 80s, but they do them as like healthy versions of it. My kids didn't fall for it.
Oh,
At
let me tell you what my son did last week. So my wife got these generic, well, they're not generic, but they're like a healthy version of Fruit Loops, right?
Not
A
having it.
whole bowl for my son. The first thing goes is, he's like, "There's only 2 colors."
Yeah, he knew. He knew right away.
Like, Dad,
Yo,
what are you trying to
then
pull?
he comes up to me. He's like, "These are gross. It tastes like salad."
Yeah.
And nobody wants salad in their cereal.
I do it to my kid. I try to pour them like these whole food ones, or like where we are, HEB will make like a chocolate one. I'll be like, "It's chocolate." They're like, "Yeah, I'm not eating that." They're like,
You're
"That's
out of
not
your
it."
mind.
That's not it. But meanwhile, if you get them like the Captain Crunch All Berries or something like that, it's a wrap, right?
Oh, they're going back for seconds, bro.
So that's where I'll lead into mine. I'm not going to piggyback on the Lucky Charms. I just thought about something. I wasn't around, like when I got out of the game, there wasn't all these like spin-offs of like now they make Fruity Pebbles with marshmallows. Like that was not even a question. Like it was just, I had the OGs and not the spin-offs.
Right.
So I think Crunch Berry was the only other one. There was Captain Crunch and Crunch Berry. It was 2. But I got to tell you one that I threw down on the regular, which I know will be controversial to most people, not like Honey Nut Cheerios, but I loved it. Golden Grams.
Golden Grams.
Man, that was my 4th pick. You took my 4th pick.
Golden
I
Grams.
fuck with Golden Grams heavy, man.
Ooh,
Now, that's
heavy.
a very underrated cereal.
Underrated. Nobody even talks about Golden Grams. Talk about the best milk.
Great milk.
Devour that box of Golden Grams. So easy. I got to put Golden Grams for the sheer volume. Like Cookie Crisp was a treat. Fruity Pebbles was a staple. It was there every day. But Golden Grams on a volume level was up there with Fruity Pebbles, where
Golden
they were
Grams
the
is like a
regular in the
sexy.
rotation.
It's like a sexy exotic car that you don't even know what the name of it is, but you're just like, that's special. Like,
I
it's
don't
not
think
popular.
they had a character.
Yeah.
I don't think they had a guy. I don't think they had a lead character in there.
I don't remember.
No, they just had like they had like a golden honeycomb kind of a like thing that you would. It was like a little.
Crazy.
I don't even know what that's called, but it was leaking
Delicious.
gold.
Delicious. Absolutely amazing. If they had a character, I wasn't aware of it. And listen, I have respect for like. I went down this whole rabbit hole recently on like Frankenberry and Booberry and all those ones. Never my style, but I did like the marketing behind it. I mean, they had like a whole world going. There's actually a mummy one that came and went in like, I think it was like, it got ousted right away. Like it was only on the market for like, a couple of months and then it was gone. And then they brought it down to those 3 staples, but those were never really my thing. So Golden Grams.
You could actually do a reverse Rushmore for the worst cereals.
Smacks is on it.
Smacks. I would probably throw the Count Chocula or Frankenberry.
Yeah, a lot of people would argue with that.
Yeah.
A reverse Rushmore, which maybe we'll do at the end, is that's a good idea. Reverse Rushmore. Smacks is probably definitely on.
Smacks is definitely on there for me. I know. I know I'm out on the loop here, but it's definitely. I don't know if I'd include Lucky Charms. They wouldn't be on that Rushmore, but they're close for me. Sorry, Tommy. I love you, man.
Your reverse Rushmore is Lucky Charms. That's
it's okay. Listen, you're gonna catch a lot of. Don't worry about me, brother. You're gonna catch a bunch of shit for that.
Yeah, you're gonna get heat. That's heat. That's instant heat.
Yeah,
I mean,
heat.
That's third
like
man
baseball.
NWO heat. That's like that is heat.
I know, man.
I hate baseball and
that's
sunny days.
Next thing you know, you're gonna say you're not into Pop-Tarts or something.
Yeah, no, I love Pop-Tarts for the record.
Everybody.
What you got, Tommy?
All right, my third cereal, I'm fucking cuckoo for them, and it's Cocoa Puffs.
Never.
Because when you're done with your Cocoa Puffs, you literally have chocolate milk. Like, who doesn't want chocolate milk?
Nope. You
Okay,
get no pop from me. Dave, what do you got? You giving pop on that? Are you giving any pop on that?
No comment here.
Pop. There's
I'm
not giving any pop on that. I can't even fake a pop on Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, man. I'm
you guys aren't cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?
Never.
You guys aren't even like a little cuckoo. You're not even a little cuckoo for them?
I might even pass. I might even go for straight cereal.
I'll be honest. I'm not even crazy about the Cocoa Pebbles either.
No, Cocoa Pebbles, no go. Fruity, Cocoa
gotta go
Pebbles.
Fruity.
It's too much.
I guess they don't like chocolate. There's no chocolate lovers here.
No, see, but that's not true because I would eat my cereal with Quick. I would have Quick when I was a kid right next to it. I'd have chocolate Quick or strawberry Quick. So I need it.
I like strawberry Quick.
Whew.
Strawberry Quick is good stuff.
Never made a vanilla Quick.
Because then you're just drinking milk.
No, you get vanilla milk.
Hey, that strawberry Quick hit, man.
Strawberry Quick
hit, bro. I'm telling you.
That was like a like a treat. We always had the chocolate Quick, but like if the strawberry Quick was in the house, and somebody was talking about it the other day when you had to like when it would seal up from the grain, like and you had to like really hit it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would just do like a bump of that powder.
Ooh, that powder is unbelievable.
I would just eat that powder.
Yeah,
like straight, like raw, no chaser. You just going straight to the powder.
Pre-workout.
Yeah.
You know, I got to go for my fourth one. It's kind of like it's like we discussed earlier. It's kind of like a subgenre of Captain Crunch, which would be peanut butter crunch. Wow. Silence, huh?
Crickets.
Listen, you know, and this isn't a receipt for what you said about Lucky Charms. It isn't.
Sure, it's not. Go ahead.
But I just don't really like, you know, and it sounds crazy because peanut butter and milk are such a wonderful marriage. But I don't know.
Yeah.
There's something about that synthetic peanut butter taste that I just can't get down with.
It's totally a receipt, right?
No, I could eat regular. My death meal, like if I go to the chair, like if I'm ever and they say, "What's your last meal?" It's almond butter. I'm an almond butter and popcorn freak. Those are my two. Peanut butter is the backup when I'm traveling because it's hard to get almond butter sometimes when you're, when we're doing independent films and you're staying in those hotels that we're in.
Right.
But I would say on your cereal, no.
Yeah.
No.
Wow, man. I guess
On
you
the
guys
bread, straight from the spoon.
It's a spread. It's a freaking
Yeah.
spread.
It's a spread. It's not meant for the cereal.
Well, I'm a peanut butter fanatic, so that's kind of where it comes back full circle for me. But
you would
Did
think
you
that
know-
your palate would be like so into good peanut butter that you wouldn't want that peanut butter.
He just
You're
loves it.
saying you'll take peanut butter any way you can get it.
Just give me that.
Man.
Just
I'll rock with the peanut butter crunch, man. I'll own it. I'll own
All
it.
right. Listen. So I would say if I'm going to go with my fourth, I mean, I really do want to put, I think it would be, I guess I have to say again, just because of what you said, I got to piggyback. It's hard for me to get away from those Lucky Charms. I got your back on that, Tom. I think Lucky Charms I think it's as good as it gets. It's not up there with Fruity Pebbles, but it is.
It could definitely hold the title. It could be a champ. It could have a run.
Definitely has a run. It had a run.
It had a run.
Yeah, it's not Hogan, but it's like it had a run. It had a run. It's not a long run, but it had a run. Yeah. What do you got?
All right.
What's your fourth?
My fourth one. This one doesn't get a lot of credit, but Pops, man, good old fashioned Pops. That yellow box. It's a very very safe. I like Pops. I like the milk after. I don't know. Got to have my Pops.
Theo's reaction, man.
You definitely. This is a '90s kid talking. Like this is not '80s.
Pops, man.
The look on Theo's face was. The look on Theo's face was like, "What are you nuts?"
You're saying you go into a breakfast cereal aisle and you're looking at cereals and you got all these options and you can have 4 and you're taking Pops?
Pops. Listen, guys, I don't need all the flash and dash. All right. It's simple. It's corn. It's hearty.
I got to tell you, yours, you definitely have the healthiest Rushmore of them all.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
And you know what? It's also too, for me, man, I don't know how about you guys, but it's also like say, for example, Rice Krispies, right? Do you ever notice how quick they get soggy? Like I can't stand soggy cereal.
They're on my reverse Rushmore. Right.
I was gonna say the same thing. Like completely 100%. Reverse Rushmore.
You guys are gonna think I'm nuts. I
actually get soggy fast.
I like to let my cereal cure a little bit and get a little soggy.
Nope.
It's nuts, but I don't like a crunchy. I don't like the crunch. Because
you're gonna have a lot of heat for that.
You're gonna get heat for that.
No, listen, man. When it sogs up a little bit, that's when all the flavor comes out into the milk.
No,
see what I'm saying?
No. That's when it gets like, I don't even know what to say. It's just not supposed to hit your mouth. Like it doesn't feel right.
Soggy cereal. I'm out, bro.
That's like.
I'm out.
It's like a stiff
all my
sock.
soggy people.
Like,
you drop down a comment. Where you at? I know you're out there.
We're not, dude. We got a rivalry going here.
Soggy
We're not seeing eye to eye on this one.
These guys are ganging up on me.
So just to give you a quick, my 4, just so we know, so anybody can comment if they're near my 4 are Fruity Pebbles, Cookie Crisp, Golden Grams, Lucky Charms.
Okay.
Tommy, what are your 4?
All right, my 4 are Honey Nut Cheerios, Lucky Charms, Pops, and what was my third one? I had a third one.
You said another one that was just
what the fuck? They weren't magically Cocoa Puffs. I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah. I think your 4 might be. You're gonna get tore up in the comments. D, what do you got? D, what are your 4?
Tony the Tiger at 1. I gotta follow you with Fruity Pebbles.
For the layman, that's Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, Frosted Flakes, Fruity Pebbles, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and what was the last one? I just
peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Yeah, peanut butter crunch.
Not even straight up Captain Crunch. Peanut butter crunch.
I think look guys, I think we all know the problem with the Captain. All right. The Captain's a great cereal. Great fucking cereal.
Great cereal.
It will tear
tears
up
the roof
of your mouth and destroy your shit.
Roof of your mouth.
Done.
It'll destroy your shit.
He will destroy your
Yeah, like
shit.
the
So
loose skin hanging off.
wait, I have an issue here. Am I missing something? Captain Crunch is peanut butter. The regular, the OG Captain Crunch.
No, it's like a corn-based flavor.
No,
Doesn't have a peanut butter flavor in it?
Yeah, peanut butter crunch.
Right, but the OG Captain Crunch, is that peanut butter crunch? Or is
No. Those are kind of like the peanut butter crunch are like the little they're like little
balls.
Like,
You're trying to say balls?
Yeah, little balls. Yeah.
and the Captain Crunch are the squares. They look like mini Frosted Flakes, but they're
they're little squares.
But
they actually look like, you know what they look like? They look like little treasure chests almost, because there's some density.
Aren't they peanut butter?
No, they're corn. They're closer. They're related to the Pops. You know, they're like a cousin of my Pops that you guys don't like. They're cousins.
All right,
corn based.
All right, so those are your 4. Say them again, D. Quick.
Frosted Flakes, Fruity Pebbles, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Peanut Butter Crunch.
Okay, so I'm going to reverse Rushmore real quick. I don't even need to think about it. Smacks.
What you
got? Rice Krispies. Straight up Cheerios. And I'm sure there's some really bad ones that I haven't had. Oh, like I remember when we were out of cereal, my mom always had them on deck because I don't know what was going on in that house, but they had that fiber cereal. What was it called? It was
Life.
No, it was like a dark black brown, like it was terrible. It was it had a name. I'm gonna find it out, but whatever it was I had to eat it when there was nothing there. And man, that stuff just puts you out of commission for a minute. You're on the bowl, you're doing the whole thing. But I'll find that right now as I think about it. But it was some kind of fiber based in a purple box.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the Saturday Night Live commercial for Colon Blow? That was the funny fucking Saturday Night Live commercial. The guy was just like,
Colon.
My 4 quick ones: grape nuts. Nobody gives a fuck.
Oh, that's what it
grape
was.
Nuts.
It's grape nuts.
That's it. Yeah,
it's grape.
Nobody. Goodbye, grape nuts. We don't need those. Regular Life, not to be confused with Cinnamon Life. That's an okay cereal. Regular Life, no bueno. And then I would have to say, you know, Theo, you mentioned this earlier. I tried the Fruity Pebbles with the marshmallows. Fuck the whole feng shui.
The whole experience is done. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't need to be invited to that party, so I don't really
tried it?
Yeah, I tried it, and it messed things up. It wasn't what we wanted. And then I would say the 4th one would probably have to be, you know, it's a seasonal cereal, but I'm not a fan of the Boo Berries. You know, the
those are seasonal? Are those seasonal?
Yeah, usually they only come out around Halloween. You get the Boo Berries, you get the Count Chocula.
Yeah, mine was definitely grape nuts. So we both have the same on there. Not to be confused with Raisin Bran Crunch, which I used to fuck with a lot.
Raisin Bran's a decent cereal. Again, I wouldn't go putting it on my Rushmore, but that's a great cereal.
And Raisin Bran Crunch, when they upped the game, was pretty great too. But you know what, D, before you do your reverse Rushmore, you know what's really interesting too when you think about it, because like everybody's living in Retromania, whatever is old is new. If you notice when you're going through, because I love to go food shopping, you'll see like Fruity Pebble, like pancake syrup. You'll see like obviously, you know, the kids like now they have the squares, like the Rice Krispie squares or the Fruity Pebble squares. Like it's bled into like, it's not just cereal now. It's like everything else. You know what I mean? There's so many other.
There's Fruity Pebbles weed. You can smoke Fruity Pebbles weed now.
Does it taste like
a flavor. It's like a strand.
Isn't there I don't vape, but I know people who vape use Fruity Pebbles as like
Fruity Pebble flavored vape stuff. You're right. It's taken over.
Yeah, you can't go
Fruity Pebbles flavored mushrooms, but
it's goated. Fruity Pebbles is goated for sure.
For sure. I mean, it's got to be a lot of people's number one.
I will say this about Fruity Pebbles though. You do get a little like layer of like a film on the roof of your mouth when you're done with them. It's not a big deal. But there's like a slight waxiness that you do get sometimes.
Were you, speaking of Fruity Pebbles, and we'll get to this in another video, were you a big Flintstones fan?
I love the Flintstones, man.
Flintstone was fun because it came on. I remember, it's super nostalgia act for me, but like, I remember it came on right after school. So that was like a show that was on while I was like on the floor playing with action figures. So like, yeah, in that sense, there's some nostalgia there.
Couldn't wait till G.I. Joe came on. It usually showed like the Flintstones and Jetsons and stuff like that first. And then you got all the action cartoons like Transformers, G.I. Joe, Thundercats.
Yeah, my
for big
kids now, I always see what my kids mark out to. And my kids, like right now, Scooby-Doo's like their number one. I tried to introduce them to Jetsons and Flintstones and all. They're just not kicking it the right way for them. Like they're not hitting. They love Tom and Jerry and they love Scooby-Doo. Like those two, they didn't. It doesn't matter what year it could be because there's like 4 different years of Tom and Jerry up to the 80s. They love everything Tom and Jerry, everything Scooby-Doo. But Jetsons, Flintstones, not hitting for them.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because Flintstones was as big as it gets.
I gotta tell you, man, I'm not a big Hanna-Barbera cartoon guy. I didn't like any of the Hanna-Barbera stuff. That whole studio.
Like Space Ghost.
That whole
USA
studio. Yeah, man, all those guys, they're just, they're not for me.
Isn't Scooby-Doo Hanna-Barbera? Is Scooby-Doo?
Scooby-Doo.
I don't know if Scooby-Doo is.
It's Hanna-Barbera.
I was a Disney guy. I was a Looney Tunes guy, but Hanna-Barbera, I always felt like that was like the cheaper cartoon.
Really?
I was a snooty little fuck.
That's gonna be one of our next episodes when we get into that, because I got to tell you, like, I'll tell you something because I'm older that I wasn't around for. My kids watch and I think is absolutely amazing is Animaniacs, and I wasn't part of that.
Love Animaniacs. That was my shit.
I wasn't part of the Animaniacs run. I was already out in the streets at that point, and they love it. And I got to tell you, those, because my wife is an Animaniacs person, and I think it's like one of the most high-level, intelligent cartoons. But we're off topic. Give me your reverse Rushmore on breakfast cereals.
Reverse Rushmore for, let's see here. Smacks, definitely. Smacks, Rice Krispies. Lucky Charms.
Heat
would be my 4th.
Send your hate mail to Demetrius at
Grape nuts, or check. What was it, like Chex? Or some shit like that.
Oh, Chex is horrible. That's a great one.
Always left at the
trash, man. Trash.
Yeah.
So that's my
hospital cereal. That's hospital cereal.
Hospital cereal.
Yeah, that's hospital cereal. I'm not dealing with that. That's what they give you in the hospital.
Oh my God. Hospital cereal. That's great, man. That's great, dude. That's great. It really is, though, right?
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
All right. First one, Rushmore. This is going to be a thing. I don't know what's going to happen with it. I don't know if they're going to be 10 minutes, 40 minutes, 6 minutes. No one knows. No one cares. It doesn't matter. We're just doing what we want to do. This was our Rushmore and breakfast cereals. Like, subscribe. More importantly, put in your comments what yours are, because Tommy's going to read every one of them and give D shit for the ones that say Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms, man. I'm sorry, man. I wasn't down with the leprechaun, I guess,
Well,
that's it. Opening episode is done. Tommy, do you have anything to say?
I just, in my closing remark is just this. Tony the Tiger is not wearing any fucking clothing. All he has on is a red bandana. He's naked, and no one says anything about it.
Right. He should be totally naked. He shouldn't just have the collar on because it shows that he's aware of clothes. That's
what I'm saying. He's a real freak. He's like, I'm just going to wear this name tag bandana and let it all hang out.
Yeah.
Did he ever put pants on, like down the road?
No.
I'm just saying,
what he did when he played baseball or hockey.
I think they put him in a uniform.
So he has the awareness of clothes.
Yeah. That's my point. I'm surprised in this society we live in, 2023 here, like maybe the Tiger should put a pair of pants on.
He's a nudist. He's a nudist.
Just saying.
I accept him and his nudist. I mean, we don't even know if Fred's wearing underwear under his stuff. We don't know anything, guys.
That's true.
Nobody knows any of this. What do we can't check out their clothes. This is what they do. Yeah. Listen. Tony could be who Tony wants to be. Let's go. Breakfast cereals are done. Reverse Rushmore. Anybody's put smacks on their Rushmore, we got an issue. That's all I'm saying.
So next week we doing cartoons? Next episode we're doing cartoons?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We don't know yet.
We'll figure
Can't
it
think
out.
about
Spontaneity, baby. Spontaneity.
All
I'm
right,
already thinking of my cartoons.
go eat your cereal. Get to it.